So we start up. Good morning, distinguished guests, advisory board members, school principals, teachers, students, parents, volunteers of Science India Forum. It's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to India at 75 World Environment Day celebrations. For the smooth proceedings of this meeting, I request the audience to mute the mic throughout the proceedings. Science is a way of life. India has contributed many inventions and discoveries in the field of science and technology. We at Science India Forum try to inculcate scientific temper in our younger generation. SIF Bahrain functions in association with Vijnan Bharati, a non-profit organization that works for the popularization of science in a nationalist manner. Its main aim is to rejuvenate Swadeshi movement in this age of science and technology for the purpose of national reconstruction. Once again, I welcome you all. Now, let us begin today's official session. May I request Dr. Vinod Manikara, Honorable President, SIF Bahrain, for the welcome speech and presidential address. Dr. Vinod.
Thank you, Shamji. Excellency, Mr. Piyush Srivastavaji, Ambassador of India to Bahrain, Dr. Neelamani Subramaniam, Dr. Shyam Kumar, respected principals, teachers, students, family members, Science India Forum volunteers, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste, Salam Alaikum, and good morning. Science India Forum Bahrain is a well-known name among science-loving community of Bahrain. Since 2012, as a non-profit organization run by volunteers and backed by the largest science organization in India, named Vijnan Bharati. Science India Forum has counterparts in all other GCC countries. In previous years, we have reached to more than 12,000 families in Bahrain through our Shastra Pratibha contest while popularizing science education among children. Apart from our flagship program, Shastra Pratibha contest, we organize many other programs such as for National Children's Science Congress, workshop for science teachers, etc. Today, on the 5th of June, we are celebrating the World Environment Day. If we look at the recent years' statistics, global greenhouse gas emissions have risen for the last 3 consecutive years. Now we have the COVID-19 situation. The pandemic has taught us few lessons. One among them is how disastrous the consequences of ecosystem loss can be. The destruction of habitats of animals and others paves way for proliferation of pathogens such as this coronavirus. Today, World Environment Day is coinciding with the launch of United Nations Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, which is a global mission to run till 2030 to protect the natural habitats from forest, farmlands, and to the ocean. Since we have very eminent speakers today to enlighten us, I will not venture further into the topic. His Excellency Mr. Piyush Srivastava need no introduction in the kingdom. Ever since he joined embassy in July last year, Piyush ji is always leading the Indian community from the front. We at Science India Forum respectfully acknowledges his acceptance of our proposal to inaugurate the World Environment Day celebration. On behalf of all of us assembled here, let me welcome His Excellency, Mr. Piyush Srivastavaji, to this event. Welcome, sir. Now, Dr. S. Neelamani is the keynote speaker today. To describe his credentials, I think I will take half an hour or more. I will make it very short. He has a civil engineering degree and master's degree in marine technology from Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, PhD in ocean engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. He was faculty at IIT Madras for 13 years and later joined Kuwait Institute of Scientific Research. Dr. Neelamani has more than 250 scientific research publications to his credit. He has been invited by many R&D institutions worldwide and has won very many awards. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Neelamani Subramanian. Welcome, Doctor. Dr. Shyam Kumar later today will be presenting a webinar. He is well known to students and parents in Bahrain as a counseling psychologist, motivational speaker, psychotherapist, hypnotherapist, and career counselor. Dr. Shyam Kumar is with us for the last 12 years and has been conducting many seminars for our children. I wish to welcome Dr. P. Shyam Kumar. Welcome, sir. Now, I take this opportunity to welcome you all. I can see principals, teachers, students, parents, and other family members in this evening. A very great gathering. Welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vinod. May I request His Excellency, Mr. Piyush Srivastava, Ambassador of India to Bahrain, to inaugurate the India at 75 World Environment Day celebration and deliver the inaugural speech.
Thank you, Mr. Shyam. Dr. Vinod Manikara, President of Science India Forum-Bahrain, Dr. S. Neelamani, Dr. Shyam Kumar, distinguished experts, scholars, and panelists, dear students, teachers, principals, and other guests who are joining us live today. Namaskar, Salam Alaikum. Let me first of all convey my greetings and best wishes to all of you on this occasion of World Environment Day. Science India Forum, since its inception in 2012, has been actively conducting various educational activities for students every year. Some of it were already mentioned by the President, Dr. Manikara, such as Shastra Pratibha Contest, National Science Children Congress. But I would like to mention one particular activity which SIF has successfully conducted during the pandemic time. It was Science Quiz for students in November 2020, in which both Indian and Bahraini students participated. This session is particularly important for me as environment is the need of hour. I mean, nature keeps reminding us from time to time. And also, besides being ambassador, I think just for the knowledge of children, I will say I am also a technical person, though I am not practicing as Dr. Neelamani has done from IIT Kharagpur. I did my degree from IIT Kanpur. So I take little bit more interest in scientific programs because of my background, though of course it has been long since I left my field. So today, on the occasion of World Environment Day, I congratulate the Science India Forum for arranging this event to create environmental awareness and to inculcate in young minds the importance of living in harmony with nature. World Environment Day is an occasion to take ownership of our responsibilities towards the environment and actively engage in protection of our planet. It has also made us realize that the guiding principle for development process is of sustainable development and enhancement of human well-being. I would like to recall the remarks made by Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, at the Leaders Climate Summit last month. And I quote, "For humanity to combat climate change, concrete action is needed. We need such action at a high speed, on a large scale, and with a global scope. We in India are doing our part. Our ambitious renewable energy target of 450 gigawatts by 2030 shows our commitment. Despite our development challenges, we have taken many bold steps on clean energy, energy efficiency, afforestation, and biodiversity. We have also encouraged global initiatives like International Solar Alliance, LEAD IT, and the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. As a climate responsible developing country, India welcomes partners to create templates of sustainable development in India. These can also help other developing countries who need affordable access to green finance and clean technologies. Today, as we discuss global climate action, I want to leave one thought with you. India's per capita carbon footprint is 60% lower than the global average. It is because our lifestyle is still rooted in sustainable traditional practices. So today I want to emphasize the importance of lifestyle changes in climate action. Sustainable lifestyles and a guiding philosophy of back to basics must be an important pillar of our economic strategy for the post-COVID era. Let us make this a decade of action against climate change. I unquote. Kingdom of Bahrain has also made tremendous strides in the field of environment protection and preservation. A number of programs and initiatives have been taken towards development of renewable energy. In this regard, I am happy to share that Bahrain has already signed Statement of Intent for joining International Solar Alliance. We hope that Kingdom will soon be able to join ISA as member after completing its internal procedures. This is an area where our two countries are already collaborating, and there is further huge potential for deepening our bilateral cooperation. The world has already experienced several natural disasters which have reminded mankind about the importance of making delicate balance between our developmental needs and environment conservation. The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic is another reminder to the same. As Dr. Manikara mentioned, that this year World Environment Day coincides with the launch of UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, a global mission running through 2030 to protect and revive billions of hectares of valuable and much needed natural capital from forests and farmland to oceans. The initiative of Science India Forum to make this event a part of India at 75 is praiseworthy. As you are aware, this year we have already commenced celebrations for India at 75, an initiative of Government of India to celebrate and commemorate 75 years of progressive India and the glorious history of its people, culture, and achievements. I once again congratulate Science India Forum for organizing this very important and timely webinar for the benefit of not only young students, but also those who are interested in science, technology, and environment conservation. Thank you and all the best.
On behalf of the audience at this event, I thank His Excellency Mr. Piyush Srivastava for the inaugural address. Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. S. Nilamani, Senior Research Scientist, Kuwait Institute of Scientific Research, to address the audience.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to everybody. Thank you very much for the invitation. I will share 10 to 12 minutes of all your precise time on a subject which is very relevant to all of us living in Gulf countries. So the topic is on environmental challenges in the coastal zone development of Gulf countries. So I will cover 4 aspects, 3 minutes on each aspect. Arabian Gulf, general environment, natural challenge, the man-made challenge, urgent action required by all the GCC countries, and I will conclude. Arabian Gulf, you know very well, this is Arabian Gulf. So we are all living on this coast. It is called either as the Arabian Gulf or Persian Gulf. So when you see from the space during nighttime, this is how the Arabian Gulf looks. You can see the dense light on the shoreline, not much inside the land area. That means very highly populated. We are on the Gulf shoreline. In the Arabian Gulf side, it is almost flat, whereas on the other side, it is all a lot of mountains and greens and a lot of rains. Here we don't get much rain overall. Even if we get rain more than 150 millimeter, it is really big. We don't get even 120 millimeter. So Arabian Gulf, as for children particularly, you see this plot 10,000 years back, there is no water inside the Arabian Gulf. So the sea level has raised, this is here, 10,000 years back, it raised and then it reached like this. Adam and Yaval, it is believed they lived here during those days. So see, it was like this. See, many thousands years back, 8,000 to 9,000 years back, very rich rivers were flowing all along the Arabian Peninsula. It was like this. You see, rivers were discharging and this is a pure water lake inside here, and many people were living here. That was the scenario 10,000 years back. But now there is no river in Arabian Gulf, only some river flowing from Iran and Iraq. Other than that, there is absolutely no river inside the Arabian Gulf. This is the environmental change during 10,000 years. And to tell you the children particularly, if you compare all the oceans, volume of water, the average water depth, if you compare Arabian Gulf, we have only 8,000 kilometer cube of water compared to this much of water in the world. And similarly, the depth, average depth of the Arabian Gulf is only 35 meters. It is so small. Arabian Gulf, as you know, it is a lifeline for Gulf country, all the lifeline for all the Gulf countries. Very, very busy shipping on the earth. More than 1,000 offshore drilling platforms, they are operating inside the Arabian Gulf. One of the highest number of dense offshore drilling activity. And you know, all the GCC countries, every year, many billions of dollars they spend for developing coastal infrastructure. So some important aspects, these are all some of the major ports within the Arabian Gulf. And you know, this green color indicates the oil field inside the Arabian Gulf. So far, they are all scientifically proven. There may be hundreds, many more, oil and gas. And this is how the dense offshore drilling area. Why I am telling, because the offshore drilling is very dense, there is always a problem of oil leakage, not only by offshore drilling, also by natural oil seepage. Arabian Gulf, as far as oil seepage, oil pollution concerned, #1 in the world because of that. And around the Arabian Gulf, these are all some of the very famous projects in Dubai, in Qatar, in Bahrain, in Kuwait, because people love to go inside the sea to live in the future. So this is one important project in Dubai. This is, you know, all in Bahrain. This is another very important offshore project. Why I am putting this? See, all these developments are required, but then many occasions we face environmental side effect, killing a lot of marine life, reducing water quality. All these things happen. So that is why I am putting all these things. There are a lot of natural challenges we face in Arabian Gulf compared to many other countries. See, Arabian Gulf, as I said, surrounded by dense population. Some of the important thing is the water temperature inside the Gulf varies from 10 to 36 degrees. It is a very high variation, one of the highest water temperature variation in the world. If you see around India, the water temperature, for example, Kerala, vary only from 20 to 25 degrees centigrade. Very high variation. Why I am telling this? the life in this Arabian Gulf, they have to survive in this very wide variation. Already very stressed because of temperature variation. And then the salinity, water salinity of Arabian Gulf is 30 to 50. This is again one of the highest in the world. No, except Dead Sea, there is no other sea in the world have this much of high salinity. So why I am telling? Because marine life, they need to adapt for this high variation of salinity. There is no freshwater flow from the Arabian Peninsula. So this is another problem. Why this is a problem? I'll tell you in another 1 minute. More than 2.5 meter water evaporates every year. If somebody close the water entry in Oman, in 12 years, complete Arabian Gulf will be empty without water. So that is the order of operation. Natural oil seepage is a problem. So this is how most of the countries are populated, mostly on the coastal area. I'm very sorry for this. Possibility of earthquake is very high in Arabian Gulf because on the Pakistan area, the whole Arabian Peninsula is subducting. So if earthquake happens, we have also tsunami possibility. Sea level is rising as you know well, and how much it will rise by 2100, it is very difficult to assess. High turbidity of water in many places. So these are all some of the important environmental change. Another important environmental change is the dust storm. We don't have this in many countries, but then inside the Arabian Gulf, dust storm is another important environmental issue. You see, again, the reason why I am putting this, in the dust, you have both nutrients as well as poisonous substance. They all fall into the Arabian Gulf, and marine life, they have to adjust their life for those materials. Now we will talk 1 minute about the anthropogenic challenges due to human being. We consume water, the highest water consumption in Arabian Gulf among the world. We consume average 450 to 500 liter per day, compared to India only about 125 liter. And a huge amount of water from Arabian Gulf is used for desalination and also for power plant. Because of that, we send back the heat back to Arabian Gulf from the cooling water. And because of desalination, we keep on increasing the salinity of the Arabian Gulf. So these are all environmental things we cannot escape, because we need the Arabian Gulf water for desalination and power plant. So because of this, the water quality is deteriorating slowly. So we need to work on this, make sure the water quality is not really deteriorating. And if it is not sustainable in future, it will be a big problem. And dumping of a lot of partially treated wastewater is another important problem for Gulf. You can add solid waste dumping also is part of the problem. High toxin concentration in the seabed is in many places, particularly in city, coastal area, in shallow water, the seabed is highly poisonous. Oil spilling, I told this. Fish killing and red tide is another big problem in Arabian Gulf. Overfishing and decrease of commercial stock, all the countries, they are facing this problem. And large number of dredging activity for ocean space development by all the countries, starting all the way from Dubai. If you see, a large dredging and island development, new projects are happening. It is required, but then we need to be careful in development of all these things. Another problem is the lack of awareness among the community about these environmental issues. This particular talk is mainly to create a small awareness among the community. Some countries are planning again nuclear power plants, and we have to be very careful using Arabian Gulf. Severe coastal morphological changes are happening due to development in this region. Then final few points, scientific cooperation between GCC countries need improvement because of all these problems. We have to work together. We cannot work in isolation because Arabian Gulf water, we are all sharing for all these applications. Another small problem is a lack of good quality data and the exchange mechanism. This is a human problem. I'm not going to spend much time on explaining other aspects of Arabian Gulf due to lack of time, but then quickly, you see, this is what's happening around the Arabian Gulf. From many parts of the Arabian Gulf, this is what's happening. Fish kill is a part and parcel of Arabian Gulf. Every year, Kuwait, we see fish kill. Every year we see. And as Dr. Vinod was telling, the sea level was rising, temperature was rising. You know, some of the publications, sea level rise is expected to be 3 meters by 2100. If this happens, most of the cities in Gulf, they will be in water completely. Finally, other few changes. All the human activities we do on the coast, it has its both negative and positive impacts. Good to have more positive impacts. For that, we need clear scientific understanding for sustainable development of marine resources in this area. Finally, other issue is a cost optimization of many marine projects here in this part of the world. In particularly ocean and coastal engineering, still we have a lot of uncertainty in science. So this I am telling to welcome children to study ocean engineering. We do, 1 minute, I wanted to tell you, from Kaiser, Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research, we do scientific development for coastal infrastructure development of Gulf countries. For example, just one simple example, in the marina, if marina is built using the latest technology we developed in Kaiser, it is environment friendly, economical, 40–50% of the cost each country can save on building marina or port using the technology we developed. So we have some US patent for this technology. Urgent action required is cooperation, scientific cooperation between Gulf countries. Forecasting of water quality, very important. So this all needs a cooperation between countries. And movement of a toxin and nuclear waste, we have to predict. If somebody starts a nuclear power plant, it is required to study and predict nuclear the waste movement, because it will easily transport from one country to another country. So all of us has to work together for this. And the impact of coastal area due to earthquake and tsunami. Iranian side is prone for landslide. If landslide of 2 kilometers happens, it will create huge tsunami for all the country, including Bahrain, Qatar and all. So we need to study, and in advance, we need to plan strategy to protect from destruction. Sea level rise, we have completed sea level rise impact for Kuwait. In fact, we have completed, for example, if sea level rise by 1 meter, how much is the loss of land and property? This is very important to do. We have done recently this project. I'm really advocating this for other Gulf countries, because well in advance, if we know what is the loss, we can easily plan for resilient measures. So that is one point I wanted to share here. Networking and knowledge is very, very important. Finally, I will finish this presentation with a message. There are a lot of innovation is happening, especially to take care of cost-effective, environment-friendly, easy to build coastal infrastructure for Gulf countries. This message I wanted to tell. So this message, this particular innovation, we all should use within the Gulf country, keeping the environmental issues, whatever I told, in mind. Finally, conclude, we have a lot of environmental change, very high environmental issues in the marine area compared to many other countries. That is number one. Holistic development is really required. More intensive cooperation between the country is required. I am working for the last 18 years. This is the one I really love to have it. We all need to work together. And then innovative solutions are available. but it is not visible for many industries within the Gulf region. So this is another one. Awareness is needed, particularly for people who are not science-based. So a clear awareness, we need to take them to them. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. I really appreciate inviting me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. S. Nilamani, for enlightening us on the challenges and solutions on the Arabian Gulf. I'm sure your suggestion to take ocean engineering as a career, some of these students who are listening to your speech must be already thinking about. The best and beautiful gift in the world cannot be seen or even touched. It can only be felt by our heart. It is called thankfulness. Now, may I invite Shri Prashant Dharmaraj, SIF Bahrain General Secretary, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. His Excellency Mr. Piyush Srivastava, Ambassador of India, distinguished guests, advisory board members, school principals, SPC coordinators, parents, dear children, well-wishers, and SIF volunteers, a very good morning. This Environmental Day, World Environment Day celebration, which we held online, is one of the kind, and I'm here to formally thank all those who made this great event. We express our sense of gratitude and appreciation to His Excellency Mr. Piyush Srivastava for inaugurating World Environment Day celebration and for your support to SIF Bahrain initiatives. We are fortunate and grateful to have you here today, sir. On behalf of Science in the Forum-Bahrain, thank you very much, sir. We hereby express our sincere thanks to Dr. S. Nilamani, Senior Research Scientist from Kuwait, to deliver World Environment Day speech. And it was really informative and a lot of good information we got it from you, sir. On behalf of Science India Forum Bahrain, we thank you very much, sir. Dr. Ravi Warrior, Chairman, Science India Forum Advisory Board. He was available to guide us throughout the journey. Let me take this opportunity to thank him for his support. Thank you, sir. We thankfully acknowledge support of our advice board members. Dr. Babu Ramendran, he always finds time to spend with us, even in his busy schedule. Thank you, sir. Dr. Shyam Kumar, his sincere support and guidance from the first day for our organization. And today he is going to present a webinar too. Thank you, sir. Though thanking our president is a being too formal, it's customary to thank him for the presidential address. Thank you, Dr. Vinod Manikram. SIF Bahrain wish to express our sincere thanks to all the dignitaries and invitees from the Kingdom of Bahrain and other GCC countries for their online presence during this event. A big thank you to Mr. Abghar Ravindranath Babu, the Organizing Secretary of SIF Middle East, to the extended support and also being with us online today. Thank you. We take this opportunity to thank principals of all the schools who have been extremely supportive to promote science among the students. Thank you all. Parents, the support you provide to your children to promote science keep us motivated. We express our sincere appreciation for being online with us throughout this event. Thank you all. We would like to thank all the media personnel who supported us. Thank you for your continued support. Last but not least, if I miss any one of you, please accept my sincere thanks and appreciation from the bottom of our heart. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you and all the best. I am sure children will benefit from the panel discussion. It was a very enlightening presentation by Dr. Nilamani, and I really enjoyed that. I wished I could have listened to Dr. Shyam Kumar also, but I have some other engagement which I have to attend. So, but you are in good hands. Children are there. I'm sure they will learn a lot and be committed towards environment protection in future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now we will move into our second session, webinar on mental well-being in digital education. For the last 2 years, the students, teachers, and parents had to adapt to a different style of learning, that is, digital education or online schooling. May I invite Dr. Shyam Kumar, prominent counseling psychologist and psychotherapist, to enlighten us on mental well-being in digital education. Dr. Shyam, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sam. Am I audible?
Yes, very much.
Yeah, okay. His Excellency, even though he is not there, Sri Piyush Srivastav, Ambassador of India to the Kingdom of Bahrain, and guest speaker, Dr. S. Neelamani, and SAF officials, teachers, parents, and my dear students. A warm good morning to all of you. No doubt, we all know that we are in certain extent of mental distortion or mental discomfort in this pandemic situation. So every sector is negatively affected. So education sector also. So now the coming 1 hour, we will travel together discussing about the mental well-being in this present scenario and some of the coping techniques and what are the measures the parents and teachers should take to support our students and so on. And at the end, maybe if time allows, you have a question answer session. So whatever possible, I will clarify your doubt also. So first of all, I thank you everyone for joining with me today for this session. I hope that you will enjoy this session and definitely you will take away something today from here. I'm extremely grateful to the SAF officials for inviting me here today for this session. So before starting, I just want to mention one famous quote from our former Indian president and well-known scientist, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Some of the brightest minds in the country can be found on the last benches of the classroom. So meaningful, so powerful. So my dear students, you are all in the last bench now. But no worry, even then, you can become one of the brightest mind in this world. Why? Because Eric Berne, the famous transactional psychologist and father of transactional psychology, according to him, you are deciding your destiny and you can redecide it. How? With your attitude. Are you agree with me? Everybody agree with me statement? You can redecide your destiny with the attitude. Very good, very good. So every hardship and failure is a new learning experience because failure itself is first attempt in learning. In this context, I would like to mention something about Thomas Alva Edison. We all know who is Thomas Alva Edison, right? When he was experimenting the invention of electric bulb, he failed so many times. But each and every time, he didn't label himself as a failure. He said that, I learned that I cannot make the bulb in this way. So another method. So that is the attitude of be positive, normally psychologists talk about. So when we get challenges, definitely we are forced to find solutions. That is actually human nature. So we will go through the slides because you know, so most of the things it's a very common things you know about it, but even then I will just share this slide and you can just. So in this presentation, what are the main things I am going to talk about? The pros and cons of online education. Most of you know about it. How the closure of the schools affects the mental condition of students. How students can overcome this. How parents and teachers can support and empower students in this scenario. How parents are affected by the closure of the schools. And what are the techniques to combat stress in this scenario. But I'll be more focusing on some of the coping techniques, how you can accommodate or how you can neutralize your mental emotions to a certain extent. That is my main focus. Okay, so these are the things we are going to discuss. So you can see here the pros and cons of online education. So in the under the pro side, you can say you can choose your time and manage it because you can make your own time and you can you can choose your time. So that is actually a benefit of online education. And time and cost on travel is safe because before you have to get up by 6:15 or 6 o'clock and get ready and go to rush to the school by bus and all this, that is not required now. So you can sit in the home and maybe you can sleep up to 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock that normally people are doing now. So you can participate from any location. So there is no need to go to school means you can participate. Even so a lot of students from Bahrain Indian School, they are participating from India because they can participate from anywhere. That is because it's an online. More freedom to learn at your own pace. So you have a recording system and your teachers will send you the recording also. Maybe you can learn again and again. You can listen again and again. You can get more information like that. So that increase your learning efficiency also, if you think. It will improve your technical knowledge. Definitely, there are a lot of techniques is involved in this online education, though you will be familiar with the technical know-how also. And you can access a lot of knowledge and information from the internet, which is available. So that is some of the benefits. There are a lot of benefits or merits or something like that. And there are the demerit side, in the con side, and the disadvantage side. When you are seeing that, one of the main issue is inability to focus on screen. Because it is very difficult because a lot of parents are complaining to me because the student is not able to focus on the screen and maybe neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, so many things, because if you are not selecting the correct posture, you will have all these problems. And facility is not reaching to all students. The online education, suppose as far as Bahrain is concerned, yes, we know that it is available in every house, internet and Wi-Fi and everything. But when we are going to the remote villages like in India, in certain states, something like that, even now, the students are not able to get the online education because of the facilities not reaching to them. That's a disadvantage of online education. And you see distractions in the online education. The students that most of the teachers are complaining also because you are distracting, because you are not focusing on completely on the online class or something like that. There is a lot of distraction is coming in you because your students are not attentive in the class. That means no held accountable for lack of attention in class, because teachers also cannot, if they are in the classroom, okay, they can show the stick and they can tell you, okay, sit down and all this. But now this is very difficult for them to control yourself, control the students. No clear distinction between school time and life. Now, most of the time, there are tuition, then online classes, different time and all this. So there is no a particular schedule, okay, from school from 7 to 2 or 2:30. After that, you have your own work or something. There is no such things now. And technology issues, as I told you before, internet issues and all these things is coming, and laptop issues, Wi-Fi issues, and connection issues. So many things are there. Sense of isolation. This is very missing your peer group. Because in the school, actually, you are not only getting the knowledge, but you are getting some personality development tips also. Because you are mingling with your friends, you are mingling with your teachers, and your emotional growth is it is positively affected by that. But now you are missing actually this great opportunity in the online class. So here, but actually the teachers, I have some tips for the teachers. The teachers also have to consider these aspects, because the emotional growth of the children is very much negatively affected with this online education. When I was participating in international conference for the mental well-being of online education, I was suggesting that also. If possible, in the class, actually, you can allow the student to mingle each other and talk each other for some time with your permission, not like whatever they talk or something. So that itself, they will each other introduce or talk something for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So they will feel that they are in the classroom. That is very important. And moreover, another thing, every day before starting the class, at least you can give some particular time, 5-10 minutes for some breathing exercise or something like that. They can do it. Then you can enter into the class. So that will be very, very good to control the emotions starting itself. So limiting your playtime, because you are not getting enough playtime or something like that. You are not going out. Isolation, social isolation, everything is so students are too much frustrated, because I know that, because I am getting a lot of counseling cases on the mental emotions now from the students and families and parents. Missing out on many important parts of childhood and schooling. Already I asked, limiting or practical. So online education, especially for the science students, it is very difficult because they are not getting the correct practical knowledge. So that definitely will affect their future in the career, because if they are selecting an engineering profession or medical profession or something like that, it will be very difficult for them. So yeah, okay, they are getting to some extent, okay, but even then they are not getting the correct practical knowledge. That is a demerit of online education, what I feel. There are so many things, so you can also find out this one. Now, effects of classroom of schools on students. Losing out many important moments and events, cultural activities, sports events, etc. are not there. Day becomes very repetitive and boring. No new experience every day. You know that. Social life is impacted, much impacted. Social life is much impacted. So social life, this emotional regulation and social life is very much important for your mental well-being. We know that stress is a common factor for all of us. Nobody is exception for that. So in two ways we normally used to get stress. One thing is, if we are not getting the things we want or we like, or if we are getting a things which we don't want, in two ways we will be getting stress. This is inevitable, because every time in life you will not get whatever you want or whatever you like. So this is inevitable. Stress is inevitable, but the suffering is optional. Why? Because if you learn to manage your stress, definitely you can manage your stress and you can get a mental well-being also. But stress you cannot, because it's a certain extent, definitely in all of us it will be there. So that is inevitable. That's what I am saying. The stress coping techniques, stress managing techniques is very important. You have to learn. The best one, as I told you, that I will explain in the later slides also. But actually, the breathing exercise, when every day, if you practice 10 minutes in the class itself, with the instruction, with the advice of the teacher, it will be very good for the children. That will be a routine, because otherwise, if we are telling them to do this breathing exercise, definitely I think they will not do continuously. So if you make a routine in the class, it will be very, very good. Then communication skills are negatively impacted as for the closer, because as I told you, you are not mingling with your friends, you are not joining with your peer group, and you are not communicating properly with your teachers. So your communication skills are negatively impacted. One of the important social life skill. Feelings of loneliness, separated from your friend circle, because always you are feeling lonely, and so you are not feeling that you are in a class or you are not mingling with, so you will feel that that emotion will be always there. And as I told you, emotional growth is affected due to lesser exposure to different kinds of people. So all these are the effect of actually closing the school, or even when we are selecting this online education. Now here, how can you overcome the difficulties? These are the difficulties. Definitely, these are the difficulties. So here, accept the situation as a training period for managing your hardship. Acceptance is the biggest awareness. Accept the thing which you cannot change. Now this situation is not in our control. We cannot change it. Then what we can do? We can accept it. So it is always easier to change yourself than changing others. So you can accept it, because why? According to the famous psychologist Carlyle, the more you accept, the more it transforms. And the more you resist, the more it persists. And not only persist, it will grow bigger and bigger, and you will get a lot of mental discomfort and emotions. So understand, try to accept the situation. And as I told you before, take that positivity in that. Only concentrate on the focus on the positivity of this online education. Don't think about the negative aspects. When you are thinking about negative aspects, definitely you will get a lot of worries, lot of tensions, a lot of stress, and a lot of mental emotions and all this. So focus only on the positive aspects of online education now. For the time being, another 1 or 2 years, we don't know. We have to go like this. So accept that situation. That is one of the. So are you agree with me? Accept the situation. Hi students. Very good. Very good. Very good. 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 Okay. Very good. Very good. So use this time to learn how to plan your day. You are getting a lot of time. So that I will. So many students are complaining me that they are not getting time. Then when they are coming to me for counseling, I'm not getting time. I used to sit with them and I used to calculate the time from 24 hours minus this one, minus this one, minus this one, minus this one. I finally, definitely you will get at least 4 hours, 5 hours free time. So that time you have to utilize. So don't complain that, because that time management is very important. So you can plan your day according to that. Learn something new every day with your newfound time. When you have time, you can learn something new. You can learn something new. Utilize your leisure time for new activity. That is also very important. You have to utilize your time for new activity. Because why I am saying new activity? Because the unused talents are burden. And just listen these words. Unused talents are always a burden with you. That will give you a lot of emotions. That will give you a lot of tension. Whatever talents you have, maybe you have a talent to sing, maybe you have a talent to draw, maybe you have a talent to play chess or what. So use that time every day, at least sing one song or draw one picture and use that. So you have to find a time for that. When you are not using that, not only it is not growing that talent, but actually emotionally in your mind, you will get a lot of pressure. That is very, and if those who are girls, if you are a dancer or something like that, do one dance for one day, no problem. Put a song and do something. That will itself will be give you a lot of relief from your tension, because body movement. When you move the body, definitely your stress level will come down. So that is the thing. Use your leisure time to new activity. Make an active effort to stay in touch with friends, even though you are not mingling with your friends. Make an active effort. How? You have to talk to your friends by phone, by chat. Take some time for that. Take some time from your parents for that. Okay, chat with them and talk with them, laugh with them. Everything you have to do as like before. Even though you are not going out, even though you are not mingling with them, you find some time to chat with your friends. It is very important for your release of your mental stress. Don't forget, life is more than just school. So find time for all the things that make you happy. So always think that you have to do all your activity like before, and don't only ideally sit in the house and only one day in class and after that this. No, do the other things also. Activity, involve yourself, your body, your mind. Always keep it engaged. then you will not get a sort of mental emotions like that. So practice technique to improve your attention. More attention means less time spent on learning new things and so many time for the rest of your time. So you can improve some concentration technique, like especially brain gym. So normally people, the students, when come to me for counseling with focusing attention, concentration attention, memory problem, I used to suggest some 2-3 brain gym for them. Do that brain gym continuously for you. You will feel fresh and you will feel a lot of focusing on you coming automatically. So all these things you have to learn, you have to practice. That is the coping techniques you have to accept and learn. Then you can reduce your mental stress. Okay, now the digital education impact. So as I told you, the mental health and well-being directly connected to your emotional regulation, self-efficiency, and social skills. Emotional regulation, self-efficiency, self-esteem, confidence, and social skill, that is social quotient, SQ, or social intelligence, whatever may be. So emotional regulation, because emotional, here actually the parents and teachers should understand one thing. Actually, normally the adolescent children will run with the high emotions. That is not their fault. First of all, you have to understand that that is not their fault. It is a brain chemistry. So I will just briefly tell that it's a brain chemistry. Why? What is happening is the emotional brain, the limbic system, and the rational brain, your thinking brain, the critical brain, whatever mean. So in the adolescent, the limbic system, the emotional brain is underdeveloped. So actually the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of Emotions, are amygdala. Those who know the biology, brain structure, amygdala and hypothalamus. Okay. The amygdala and hypothalamus are actually the two components in your emotional brain system causing these emotions for you. So as per the advice, as per the instruction from amygdala, hypothalamus produces hormones and it is pumping into your blood system, bloodstream. But actually in the adolescent stage, the emotional brain listen much to the not to the rational brain. It will not listen. It will listen more to the amygdala. So that means the emotions you are not able to control. But when the age of 19 to 20, at the age of 18, 19, 20, the emotional brain and the limbic brain, or the rational brain wiring system become proper. And there your prefrontal cortex, PFC, is developing in full structure. And then there is a braking system. That time your emotional brain listen much to the rational brain, and there is a braking system. There is an inhibition for your emotions. So you will be able to control your emotions at this age. So this is a science behind it actually. That is why most of the adolescent children, they will show anger, they will show frustration, they will show atomic nature. All these emotions are natural for them. But the parents and teachers, you should not annoy with that. But here, the development of this emotional brain and rational brain process can speed up with a good parenting and a nurturing parenting. That the parents should understand. You should not worry about it. You should give a positive parenting for them. So this process has to be actually speed up. That is why always the adolescent children are more emotional than adults. So you think about that. That is the thing. Basically, people are complaining. Okay, he is like that, and mood swing and anger, frustration, laziness. All these things will be there. It's a quite natural for adolescent. But you try to give a positive strokes and positive motivation for them to speed up and support that emotional control. Then only you can control your children. So this is a very important point for them. So don't, you parents and teachers, don't upset with that. You try to understand and try to empathize with them and try to bring them up with your talent, with your experience. So you try to bring them up with that. So then it will be a better option for you also. So this is then, as per the mental health, when you are looking into the definition of mental health, WHO and all this, you can see this, you can read this. Mental health is a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or an ability, and all this as descriptive only. And here, the individual's mental health and well-being are believed to be determined by a range of social, psychological, and biological factors. As I told you, it can be actively promoted through specific actions and interventions, including through the creation of an enabling and supportive environment, both inside and outside of the school. That's what I told parents and teachers. You should be a supportive factor for the students, especially in this specific pandemic time, because they are automatically already they are frustrated, already they are in a mental emotion. So you have to support. You don't make them more mental problem. You support them and give some positive motivation and all this is, then you can improve that process and you can bring them up. So because actually the healthy body plus healthy mind is happy human. You have to understand that. Healthy body and healthy mind, because body and mind, we cannot separate it. It is together. It is integration. A body, when any problem in your mind, it will reflect in your body. Any problem in your body, it will reflect in your mind. You know that. So it is an integrated part actually. So you should keep your body also and your mind also happy, then automatically overall you will be in a happy mood. So you, for that, what you need, the nurturing parent ego state. When I am saying ego state, it's a transactional psychology again, because all human beings are making communication or interactions or transaction with three egos: adult, parent, child. But in the adult itself, in the parent itself, there are two: critical parent, nurturing parent. And in adult ego, then child, free child, and adapted child. There are like that is a transaction. So you, how, because always when we are talking to others, every time there is a shifting of ego state. If you know your ego state, then you can accordingly on the condition, on the demand needed, you can shift your ego state. So when you behave to your child, when you behave to your own child, when you behave to a student, so when you behave to your friend, when you behave to your teacher, how you have to shift your ego, that is very important. So you have to know something. So for that, actually, you can do an egogram, you can find out your ego and all this. That is all big psychology. So I don't want to tell anything, but there should be the nurturing parenting type. You have to adapt also with the children now to support them. Okay, so that is other thing. Now, what are the normal emotional discomfort you are getting? Depression, anxiety, uncertainty, eating disorders. Either you eat more or you don't eat at all. See, now a lot of parents are complaining that all children become fat. Because why? Because they are sitting in the house, eating and online class. So no control. So they become fat. So that is also a disorder, eating disorder. So, okay. So don't do that. Eating disorders, or otherwise some children not at all eating. That is also an eating disorder. That is also a mental problem, my dears. Okay. So just take care of that. Eating disorder, substance abuse, drugs and alcohol, if you're using somebody. Emotional instability, that is uncontrollable emotions such as anger, frustration, sorrow, etc. Instability is always, emotions always will be there. And normally in my every class, I used to tell parents, no need to control your emotions. When you want to control your emotions, when the emotions become uncontrollable or uncontrollable output, like unhealthy anger. Okay, so that time only you have to, because emotions means all human beings, there will be sort of emotions, definitely will be there. You will have a happiness, you will have sorrow, you will have some sort of anger, because anger is good. A positive anger is good, because anger, why? Because in each and every anger behind there is a positive intention. Why your teacher becoming angry with you? Because your teacher expecting something from you. That is natural. Don't feel that. It is natural. But if the teacher is become very angry and throwing your this one and in your face and all this, that is unhealthy anger. That time, that teacher should be counseled and control the emotions. So it is actually that you have to think, because uncontrollable anger or emotions, that is very dangerous. Okay. So sleeping disorder. Yeah, here the sleeping disorder. More, this is very important, my children. Actually, minimum 7-8 hours, but even 7 or 8 hours you should sleep, because your all healing takes place while you are sleeping. Whatever problems you are facing in the daytime, whatever emotions, whatever traumas, whatever experience you are facing during daytime, that is healing in your body during your sleep time. So you have to give enough time for healing. You have to keep at least 8 hours or 7 hours sleeping, because you make a chart for that. You have to, because now I know so many students, they will sleep by 12 o'clock midnight or 1 o'clock 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and get up in the morning by 10 a.m. This is actually absolutely not acceptable. You should find a time, minimum time 7 hours to sleep comfortably. Okay, and you have to see dreams also in the sleep. You will see dreams, because there is a dream psychology is different. There is actually something behind that, the science behind that. Okay, so it is always, sleeping is very important. So all these emotional things you will get, but you can control it also. How you can control it? That is actually, now in this slide I am telling you. Okay, now self-control of your emotions. As I told you, maintain a schedule. How many of you have a timetable for your study and your routine activity? Most of the students will not be. When students are approaching me for counseling, I used to ask them, okay, have you any schedule for time or sleep or eating, anything? No. Yes, whenever they feel, yes, I will eat. Whenever I feel, I will study. Whenever I will feel, I will do this. This is not the way you have to practice, because it is a part of personality development, the managing your time, because make time your friend, not your enemy. Always I used to tell in my class, make time your friend, not your enemy. Okay, so maintain a schedule. So what is the benefit of keeping a schedule? Having a schedule help you to contain your emotions and feel a sense of control. When you have a schedule, okay, morning I'm getting up 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever maybe, then maybe I will do some breathing exercise for 30 minutes, some yoga, whatever maybe, then I will do this one, then I will breakfast, something like that, a schedule. Then minimum daily 3 hours, 4 hours I will study. All this schedule you should make, and you should honor it also. Not only making the timetable, you should honor it also. That is important. Okay, keep a positive journal. What is the positive journal? Every day, try to enter 3 good things daily to keep your spirits up. You keep a paper or table, Excel table, whatever maybe. Every day, put a date and put some 3 positive things in that, what you did that day. So every day when you are writing that positive things in your journal, and every day when you are reading that, so you will get a sort of mental satisfaction. So you will get a feel of control on yourself. So this is very important. So then practice deep breathing, mindfulness meditation, breath counting, yoga, etc. See, breathing means everybody taking breathing as very light. But see, breathing is one of the best technique for stress control. You should understand. Those who are, you can go to the Google and you can search Bim Hof. Anybody heard about the name Bim Hof? WIMHOF, Bim Hof. Bim Hof Breathing Technique. There's actually, he is a man in the world, he is the most immunity man in the world. But what he is doing? He is doing only breathing, deep breathing. And he is the man swim 2 hours in the ice water. And he is the man run 2 hours in the desert without water, without food, anything. And he injected coronavirus in his body, he didn't get anything because he is highly immune. That means, but only thing what he did is only belly breathing, deep breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. Okay, so only that one, no yoga, nothing, only breathing. So breathing has got wonderful effect. That's what I told the teachers every day in the class. You make the students to do at least 10 minutes and at least 1 or 2 breathing exercise. Either a anilom vilom, nadi shodhana pranayama, or a deep breathing, or bhamari, whatever maybe, So you have to make it. That is very important for you, especially in this present situation, Okay. Then mindfulness meditation. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness means aware yourself. There are so many methods. You aware yourself. That's why aware. So mindfulness means actually, you know your action, you know your feeling, you know your activity, everything. So aware. The best way to mindfulness is concentrate only on your breathing. Sit ideally in one place and concentrate only on your inhale and exhale breathing. That itself is a mindfulness meditation. Okay, so that you have to practice. So you can get the help of me also if you want. Somebody want to, you can talk and I can demonstrate and I can tell you also. And breathe counting, the mindfulness breathe counting also. When you take one breath, one inhale, one exhale, count one breath slowly. Like that, you close your eyes and take 10 times, 15 times. So you will actually make your mind very calm and peaceful. So your stress emotion will be balanced. So it is very important. Practice relaxation technique such as PIR, PFR, and PMR. What is this PIR? Progressive imaginary relaxation. PFR, progressive feeling relaxation, otherwise known as mental anesthesia. PMR, progressive muscle relaxation. All are relaxation technique. It has certain procedure. First, you have to approach one as psychotherapy. So somebody practicing that, you get the tips and how to do it. Practice it daily, because I know there are patients with me 1 month continuously PAR. They reduce their BP, they reduce their cholesterol, and they reduce their tension and stress. If you are doing continuously, if you are serious, definitely you can get that. And take up activity, involve your body and mind. So when you take, I told you, new activity, create art such as drawing, knitting, playing instrumental music. These things you have to take, because your body and your mind should involve in your activity. So you will control your emotion. Keep a good nutrition, regular meal and exercise. Important, very important. Keep your self-esteem always high. The self-confidence, you have to be very highly confident to keep your emotions. So how you can keep your self-esteem very high? That you have to steps to improve your self-esteem. You can see here, you don't have to see the whole staircase just to take the first step. That is Martin Luther King. So no, don't think about all the things. Why? Because when you think about past is history, present is victory, and future is worries. Normally in psychology, we used to say that past is history and present is victory and future is worries. Don't think more about the future, you will get more worries. But when you think about the present, you will get victory. So live in the present, live in the present moment, accept the present moment, live in the present moment, then you will get the victory. So for that, the self-esteem, to increase the self-esteem, what you can do, analyze your weakness and strength. Self-analysis, that every time I used to tell students, everybody, not only students, self-analysis, because you know that if you are not doing self-analysis once in a day, you are missing to meet a wonderful person in this world, Swami Vivekananda. So that is how beautiful that sentence, because if you are not doing a self-analysis once in a day, you are missing to meet a wonderful person in this world. Who is that wonderful person? Yourself. So do a self-analysis every day, know your strength, know your weakness, then that itself will give you a lot of control of your emotions. Identify your competencies and develop them. That's what I told you. The talents, the unused talents, don't keep your talents unused. Use it, develop it, know it, then you will get a lot of satisfaction and mental satisfaction also. Learn to accept compliments. So when you get some compliments, yes, at least gratitude. So at least learn to accept that also. That is very important. Eliminate self-criticism and introduce self-compassion. Don't criticize yourself always. I know a lot of students, even not only students, a lot of adults are also coming to me every time criticizing our own, because that is because I know in the second slide I will tell you that is because of the lack of self-image or self-respect, self-control. That is very important in your life. So affirm your real worth. Keep an emotion journal. That is very important. As I told you, one positive journal, emotion journal always is important, because what is emotion journal? You keep a diary or keep an Excel sheet, or then write down your emotions, what you are feeling this time. Okay, just keep it that one. Then if you possible, you think what is behind that, like that. So as I in the next slide, I will tell you that actually there is a procedure for that, how to do that. So that is actually your self-esteem. So always try to increase your self-esteem, because, and here the self-esteem normally coming down because of the comparison. Because of the comparison. No need to compare. See, I always telling your parents and teachers, don't need, because your difference is your uniqueness. That is Swami Vivekananda. Your difference is your uniqueness. Not, you don't need to compare to others. If especially for parents, if you are comparing your children to somebody, he also will compare with you. Okay, Papa, your friend is driving a Lexus car and you are driving a Corolla. Why? Why? Because that comparison will come. Okay, so no, don't try to compare your children with anybody else. Even no need to compare your even siblings also there. Your elder daughter, the second son, in front of them, never, never, never compare, because it keeps a lot of mental problems in the later stage. You know that, because I know, because in the counseling field, I know a lot of imprint actually coming in the mind, and it is very difficult to heal that imprint and negative aspects. A lot of effort should be needed for that. So just take care of that. And then thoughts. Okay, from where these emotions coming to you? From where these emotions coming to you? It is coming from your thought, because your thoughts run your life. Why? Because your thought will convert into words and actions, and your action convert into habits, and your habits convert to behavior, and behavior convert to character, and your character is reaping the destiny. So here your thought. So what is actually where you have to change? You have to change your thought. That's what first I told you. You are deciding your destiny, and you can redecide it with your attitude. You have to change your thought. Everything create from there. Everything coming, all emotions, all mental discomfort, everything coming from there only. So this is actually very important. You have to, that is why I told this self-analysis, emotion journal, all these things you have to work out, and then only you can find out all. Because it is not, see, actually, Swami Vivekananda told that education is not only just pumping the fact, it is actually the learning how to master your mind. It is very important. In his book, Education to Children or something like that, he wrote like that. Education is not only feeling the fact, it is actually the fact of learning that you should control or should master your mind. So you have to learn how to master your mind. So that is very important. So here you can say that sow a thought, reap an action, sow an action, reap a habit, sow a habit, reap a character, sow a character, reap your destiny. So your character, your habit, your action, and your thought is reaping your destiny. Everything is important. So you have to change the first pattern, your thought pattern. How you can change the thought pattern? See here, there is a technique. I am telling you, this is known as rational emotive behavior therapy. It is a CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, where you can challenge your thought and you can find new thoughts. So what is actually here? See, in this ABCD method, it is known as ABCD method. You see, every thought, there is an activating event, that is triggering event. From where this thought coming? Something will be there. Now, maybe you can say, now, COVID-19 online education. Oh, what will happen to my career? What will happen to my higher studies? What will happen to my admission? All this thought will come from the triggering event of this. Okay. Now, first of all, middle beliefs, and second one, emotional consequence. When this thought coming to you, what is the emotional consequence you are getting? Fear, sorrow, frustration, anger. Note down that some emotional consequence will be there associated with each and every triggering event or activating event. But why this emotional consequence coming? There is a belief system. There is a belief system in between. There is a belief system in between. What is that belief system? See, I will tell you, belief system means there is one common belief system. Men should not cry. Boys should not cry. Who made this belief system? Who made this principle? You are accepting this like that. Oh, I am a boy. I should not cry. I should suppress my all emotions. I should not express my emotions. So I am a boy. I am a boy. So every time that will make you mental emotions. That so many emotions, like say, there's certain, I'm telling, okay, a girl should not speak loud. No, you always should be disciplined, so speak like that. That is a traditional belief also. That is also wrong. Why? Who told that? Who made that system? Who made that belief system? This belief system actually making you trouble for your emotional consequences. So you have to challenge that. You have to challenge that. It's not like that. Suppose, okay, COVID-19, there is no 10th class exam is not there, 12th exam suspended. What will happen? There will be some positive alternative. Think in that way. My admission will be okay. Okay, I want to get a 95% mark. It's an irrational demand. Demand is good, but irrational demand is again make problem. If you are not getting 90, all children, those who are getting 95 only going into the life, into success, no. There are children with a 60% mark also in life, they will be in a big position. So that thought you have to think in that way. That is a positive aspects you have to think. Even though I am getting, okay, whatever. So accept that one and then think in your, and then you disputed that beliefs. When you disputed that thought, you will get an expected new behavior. This is a REPT procedure, rational emotive behavior therapy. So here I will show you the chart how to make that. A, B, C, D, E. So in the A means activating event. The thought or situation, initial thought, what is coming, write down in that. Second, next in the C column, you write your emotional consequence, what you are feeling. You are feeling sad, you are feeling anger, you are feeling frustration, you are feeling something disappointed, you are feeling anxious, you are feeling depression, write down that. Then beliefs, what caused that beliefs? What is actually your beliefs in that? Write it down. Then in the last D column, try to change your thought, find an alternative thinking. That's what I told you. If all COVID-19 positive, all positive cases are not coming to death, the death itself is increasing because of the fear factor. You know that is actually the death of coronavirus. Actually, most of this 75% death is happening because of the fear, not because of the virus. Please understand that. That is psychology also. It is fear. So here you have to change your thinking. Okay, all corona patients are not dying, so why I should worry also? I should take care. That's all. That thinking pattern for everything, and then you write in the last column the improvement. So this one, if you are practicing continuously, there are people practicing this for years and years and years, for months and months and months, then only you will be able to challenge your thought. You will be able to dispute your thought. You will get a positive attitude. Not only one day, not only 2 days, not only 3 days. You have to do it continuously. So this is a wonderful therapy, wonderful procedure to challenge your thought. Okay. Then here the elements of your support, parents and teachers. I just want to mention few points. So you can guide your child or students for emotional development. As I told you, with a positive stroke, emotional with a positive stroke, actually, you can support them. And sorry. Okay. Social development, help to learn how to get along with others. You have to learn all this. You have to support, you have to teach your students or children like this. Educational development, you have to support. And physiological development, of course, you have to support also. So you parents and teachers always can support, as I told you before. So you have to support them with a positive stroke. So positive stroke, actually you have to give motivation, you have to give encouragement, you have to always make them change their fixed mindset to growth mindset. That you have to support. So here, how you can do that, how the parents and teachers can do that. Here you can see the word heal, H-E-E-H-E-A-L, heal. Heal your child. How? Hear them. First point is very important. Now, most of the parents, before they are saying something, okay, I know what you are going to say. I know. No, hear them, empathize with them. What is empathize? Understood that. I understood that this may be difficult you to adjust. You just say like that. You accept it that. Don't say that, oh, why you are doing like that? No, it's not. So you say that, okay, my dear, I know that you are a little bit frustrated. I know that you are little bit difficult to adjust. No problem. I am there to support you. This word itself is enough. This word itself, I am there to support you. That itself, your children always need that. Your children always looking for that. Okay. Then acknowledge the feeling. I think you are worried, disappointed. So acknowledge that. Okay, I know. So today, okay, your mood is not good. I know that you are worried because of that. Maybe no problem. So you take some time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, you will come back and I am also there with you. Something like that. You have to talk to your children. And then last one, listen, listen, and listen again. So without listening, because you should not reply. We are all actually hearing something to react normally. So before reacting, you have to think. That we are not doing normally. So listen, listen, and listen again. For that, you heal them. To heal them, what you need. Your eyes, your words, your action. Last one is your smile. Your eyes. Your child need your eyes. I am asking you one question, the same question which George Bernard Shaw asked once with his audience. What is the most beautiful thing in this world? I asked in so many of my classes like that. Maybe if somebody attended my class, they know that. What is the most beautiful thing in this world? He asked a question to the audience. Everybody answered. So now here we don't have time to listen to your answer, but everybody answered so many things. But finally, nobody answered the correct. He told that the most beautiful thing in this world is the eyes of your children. Are you looking into the eyes of your children? That is very important. When you are looking into the eyes of your children, you will feel, and they will feel that affection. They will feel that love. They will feel that support. They will feel that it will make a wonderful bonding between you and your children. So this is so you have to give, and another thing, your words, how you are saying, how you are telling. Don't blame them always. Don't criticize them always, but appreciate them, encourage them, correct them with affection. Correct them with the affection, not with the blame or criticism. You cannot do that. So that is, and your action, that is your attention to your children, and your smile. Always smile with your children, especially for teachers also. Smile with your students and correct them. Then only they will agree. Otherwise, it is very difficult. So, so you should, there are a lot of things like that. So I just make some of the things for you, because actually then for the children, I will give one tip for you also, because as I told you before, the most of the emotional problems are coming because of the self-image problem. You are not respecting yourself. You are not loving yourself. You are not accepting yourself. So that is actually a wonderful theory. Actually, you have to love yourself, because when children are coming to me for counseling, I used to conduct an emotion test or self-image test. I used to know that I found out that so many children are lack of that self-image. Why? Because they are not giving worth to themselves. So what you have to do is practice this one every day morning when you get up. Even how many times you can do, that is up to you. Every day morning when you get up, you just, after you fresh and everything, you just go in front of a mirror and look into the mirror. When you are looking in the mirror, you will see your image. Then look into your eyes. Look into your eyes. Then say that, I love you and I really love you. This word 3 times or 5 times you say to yourself. Your image, look into the eyes and say that, I love you and I really love you. So this affirmation will work wonderfully, because I tried this to so many children and so many parents also. Because actually, why? Because then you will get complete that respect and control, emotion control. Then you will feel that after some 1 month or something like that, because it is actually normally it's a chakra affirmation also. Because I am not going in detail that, because most of our emotional problems are coming because of some imbalance in our chakras. You know the chakras, okay? This root chakra and all these things like that. So this is one of the best chakra affirmations also. It will give you wonderful result. This is, and most of the affirmation therapy also will work for that, because affirmation therapy, people are complaining that affirmation is not working because affirmation they are not doing properly. If affirmation you are doing properly, affirmation therapy, because I know, because I have experience in that. That's what I am confidently saying, that a lot of students, I already corrected so many problems with that, only with affirmation. If you are doing properly affirmation, it will, because in American Psychology Association, they used to give children self-compliment journal. Self-compliment journal is like an affirmation only. That is also is a wonderful therapy. So you have to try all these things for your children, and then they will come up, and support them in each and every this one. Then finally, I want to tell some tip for students and parents. You can see one of the famous quote from Bill Gates. I failed my exam in some subjects, but my friend passed. Now he is an engineer in Microsoft, and I am the owner. So I'm not discouraging you, that I am not saying, don't take this tip from me that, okay, if I failed also, I will become an owner of the Microsoft. Don't think like that, okay? Don't, but here what I am saying is, don't, the negative when you are getting, don't think over that. You just take an alternative and go ahead with the positive things. That's what I want to tell you. I failed my exam in some subjects and my friend passed. Now he's an engineer in Microsoft and I am the owner. This is also, that's what life is, not all about education. There is something else also. That's what I want to tell you. So in the pandemic situation, your education is affected, negatively impacted, but even then you have a lot of alternatives. Don't worry about it. Keep your mental strength intact, and then you will get. And for parents and teachers, I want to tell you, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. It is very, very important. It is easier to build strong children than repair broken men. So be careful about that. Then with that, I'm going to conclude, and thank you very much for listening me for this for 1 hour. So I really appreciate your patience. Thank you very much. Over to Prashant.
Thank you, Dr. Shyam. We will have a 15 minutes Q&A session, an interaction session. So if anybody has questions, please, you may ask now. You can unmute yourself and ask the question. Once you have raised the question, please mute yourself.
Can I ask you a question, Dr. Shyam?
Yeah, why not?
Right. Dr. Shyam, thank you very much. It was an awesome, well-detailed explanation of every aspect of the teaching learning process, which are going on for the last 2 years. Yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah. And the most important part, which we have touched upon separately for the students, parents, and teachers. Yeah. I always believe and agree with you completely about the triangular relation among the three: parents, teachers, and students. Yeah. At this juncture of pandemic time, this relation should be the strongest. And you have made it very clear to parents also and the teachers also. Now, what I would like to add upon one thing is the parents and teachers relation should be very, very cordial, and they should be connecting them on a daily basis so that both of them, we know that both of them aim at the good prospects of students. Yeah. So this is a must.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, exactly, I agree with that. Yes, exactly, I agree with that.
And as you mentioned, the eyes, the words, action, and smile, I like them. Yeah. These are the ones. These are the best ones a teacher, a parent, and any good well-wisher can give to a student. Yes, whether the student is a teenager or a smaller one. Yeah. I appreciate that. Once again, congratulate you for giving such an explanation to the parents. I'm sure the students and parents and everyone who listened to this completely is definitely benefited by this one. Thank you, Dr. Shyam.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi. Thank you.